Here I am. You see me? Hi, everyone. Let's get started. Hi, Dinda. Hello, everybody. Nell, hi. How you doing? Let's start by taking a look at the outside markets. Everyone see copper right there? Hi, CD. Everyone see the chart fine? Addenda coming in clearly. That's the copper chart, the May copper. Okay. So with the S&P selling off, guys, we had a sell-off, very broad-based after the Fed minutes came out this week and some of the issues in Spain. Of course, it took QE3 off the table, but we all knew, and I've been talking about for months, they're not going to use QE3 with copper at 380, maybe at 320, and not with the S&Ps at 1398, just a shade off the highs. So it still is possible that we could get one more pop. They've taken care of most of the shorts here this week, took out buy stops here, challenged these, and I'm sure there's still some buy stops of people picking the top in copper above this high. Possible it could also break down. A lot's going to have to do with how they spin the NFP tomorrow with the markets being closed. Pretty strange event. I can't remember it in my career, and I've been around for a while. How many watch my videos during the day? Watch my daily videos on the website? Anyone in here? Okay. I was talking about yesterday not being a willing seller of crude down here, and part of the reason was the weak signals I was getting in USD CAD. So crude also could possibly recover here. Okay? And you can't rule out one more push up or at least a correction from here. Shake out everyone who's gotten short under 104. They already did it one day. So with all this talk of no easing, when you look at it, crude is unchanged on the week. Yeah, there's a daily video on my website. That's free. All you have to do is sign up. Sometimes I skip a day when I want non-members to guess about what I'm thinking. Okay? All right, so here's the copper, the crude and the copper. Let's look at the S&P. Everyone's putting the nail in the coffin in the S&Ps, and it's possible, again, it's all coming down to the number. But again, we held after taking out last week's low. Looks like, under 1380, the correction is beginning, maybe to 1330. But if they can spin the NFP number the right way, there you go, Carlos. All it would take is one positive day to elect buy stops here, here, here. And because of this sell-off here, notice where the RSI is. It's at one of its lowest points in almost since last year, last fall. So now if we were to have a surge back above these highs towards 1440, the divergence would be glaring. Can you see that? That even if we blew off to 1440 on some, who knows, perverse way they spin the NFP, maybe the market will like a weak NFP number because then it'll put QE3 back into their mind. So if that happens, I think that's going to be the terminal thrust out of this triangle. Or just like copper under 370, you're going to have a breakdown under 1380. And if that happens, I do expect the 1330 level to be challenged. But can everyone see the point I'm making on the RSI? Is my cursor showing? So even if we got a big rally, Up here, new price highs, there'd be glaring divergence. Give me a Y if you understand that. Same would be the case in the copper chart and the crude chart if they should manage one more hurrah. Let's call it one more hurrah. But either way, we're getting to a critical juncture. I think the dollar most likely gave us our first signs of it this week with the strength that we've seen over the past 2 trading days. So these are the outside markets. Let's take one look at the dollar index, since we are currency traders, right? So let's look at the basket. I hope everyone has a great Easter. So this was definitely impulsive. So right now I have to give it the benefit of the doubt that we're going to hold the 78 level for now. I'm not of the mind to chase it, though. I think there'll be some kind of pullback towards the 79.5 level. If I'm right about one more push up in S&Ps, risk will come on for a bit, and that means you'll have some selling opportunities on strength in the pound dollar, in Euro USD, in Aussie USD, because it's, right now, the street, the public's pretty bearish on these currencies and bullish a dollar. So it's very possible we get a wave 2 pullback to 79.5 before we start to attack these highs back above 81. Everyone clear on what I think? That right now I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. The dollar is bottom, but I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to wait for a correction back to 79 between, say, 60 and 40 and try buying the dollar there. Give me a Y if you get it. And then we'll move to the pairs. So let's start off with USD CAD. People that have been following my work know that I've really been bearish and still pounding the table for a sub 98 Canada. And what was interesting about this week, even though we had this very nice recovery from down here, is with what happened to Aussie getting pummeled, okay, taking out lows from here. Canada, which is a correlated currency in my mind, could not get above these highs. And it wasn't until today, after some carnage, and we're talking about last night, crude coming off $5, S&P's under pressure, a strong dollar environment, dollar up on the week, and coming into today, yesterday's close was 99.62. And then you go to the weekly, last week's close was 99.84. So as a trader, you ask yourself, this is a real conducive environment for Canada, right? Crude is cracking. The dollar is firming up dramatically against the European currencies, against other commodity currencies. Commodities are crashing. Stock indexes are under severe pressure for a few days. Why is Canada lower on the week? What's it telling you? What is the market message of that correlation and all those relationships that I just mentioned? What would your conclusions be? About Canada? What would your conclusions be? Yeah, the Canadian dollar is very strong. It should have been right. Well, basically, it's showing dramatic, in this pairing, relative weakness, okay? And then if you reverse it, yeah. So no, I don't know if you can make a fundamental judgment, because normally on a week like that, Canada should have been up sharply. So as a trader, yeah, those are great, things you could talk about over a cocktail, but what's it telling you as a trader to do? You could say, oh yeah, Canada's strong because the commodities are anticipating, or the U.S. economy is recovering. What does it tell you to do as a trader? To take a position. It told me to short it. That's right. So what you say to yourself, and this has nothing to do with just Canada, you say to yourself, if a market is not performing when all the outside influences are positive for it, what's going to happen if some of the outside influences diminish, abate? And that's what you saw happen today. So it's still my contention, even if the dollar has bottomed, that when you look at a daily chart of USD CAD, let me ask you this. Where are the stops? Do you think there's a few sell stops here? How about here? How about from early March? I guarantee you that everyone who's been buying every dip in Canada looking for an important low because of risk coming off and a negative crude market has their stop under these lows. Short this pair, which would be buying the Canadian. And only for one more push until they shake out everyone who's been buying this pair. Yeah, I know we've been having troubles with the cursor. So down here the low is 98.40. How about when I do that? Any difference? Okay. Anyway, bottom line is new lows. Let me try and refresh it. Do this again. Still that way? When I hold it on a candle, you could tell, because it'll show the range. So I'm looking for stops under here, and stops under here to be taken out before we get a major low. And what might be happening when we make a new low? Those who've been following my work on RSI, what have I renamed the RSI? Does anyone remember? I know there's some regulars in here. What do I call the RSI? What do you call the RSI? Yeah, Sam's got it. So it's my belief that we already diverged here, right? This was our first divergence. We made new lows, higher RSI reading. And if we make another new low in Canada, I believe we're going to have another divergence. So be alert at new lows for divergence on the daily, I think you'll have, and then start looking for it on the 4-hour and the hourly. That may take a little work. Any questions on my outlook for the Canadian dollar, for the loonie? What does? The divergences? Carlos? The divergences? it takes longer for them to manifest on a longer time frame. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it work on longer time frames, but it takes longer for the turn to take place, of course, than a shorter time frame. But I think the messages are still the same. Maybe it's difficult to have the patience to be right trading off a daily because you have to risk more. Could that be the case? Reduce your leverage then. And give yourself, I really teach our traders and members to give trades enough breathing room so you could be wrong for an hour or a day. So give yourself a chance for the market to play out in your direction without being taken out on every blip. So you reduce your leverage and use broader stops. I believe that's the way to be successful as a trader. Not using 20 pip stops. Because you will be able to hit things on the button, but not for swing trades. And even scalps, I think 20 pip stops are, and some people use 10. I think they're good for your broker. They love the volume. I believe less is more. I don't think there's been a change in the correlation. Aussie down, gold down. Strong dollar, lower commodities. Yeah, well, today. But what about for the week? You could, nothing travels in a straight line. Okay. All right, let's take a look at pound dollar. Came within 30 pips of where I wanted to sell it. I had orders in at 60.85, the high for the week. So this is a 4-hour chart, Carlos. I would say that this divergence worked pretty well, okay? So you had a rising wedge. I'm looking for, we're almost at targets. And like I was saying, based upon the dollar index contract, that I'm expecting some kind of pullback in the dollar, that if there's some more dollar strength down here, I think that there's a trade from underneath the 58 handle for perhaps a bounce back, maybe back to 159, 159 and a half at least. Maybe from there we get some type of head and shoulders formation developing back in here. But I think you can make a case for at least some type of correction of this week's decline, possibly enough just to squeeze the shorts out back over 159. You could see this is like a left shoulder head. We're developing something here. So if I'm right about a pullback in the dollar, there should be a counter trend trade up and then a better short. Okay? They're starting to take out the stops on the way down. This is a night. What we may end up doing is, last week I talked about a trip up to the megaphone top, which we missed by a little bit, and that perhaps we're on our way back down towards the bottom of this broadening formation. Was anyone here? It missed that line by 25 pips. And very possible that we're on our way back down towards 155. Very nice formation to watch. If you want to take a snapshot, go ahead. You have these 2 points here. You have this. You have this. It's called a megaphone top. It's a broadening top. It ruins everybody because at new highs, people think you have a breakout and it's really just about to fail. And then at new lows, people think you have a failure and it's just about to turn. So the same thing may happen down here towards 155. Who's learned something new today? Give me a why and tell me what it is. I'm doing this for you, so you reinforce it and write it down. Oh, this megaphone? Yeah. This was kind of a rising wedge. This was more like a wedge on a 4-hour. Broke down out of the rising wedge. Yes, Dan. Are you trading too tight? Not. And also being able to identify the relative weakness, and you'd be short that. Like if you were short Canada, you didn't get hurt like being short Swiss this week, right? Swiss did this. Canada couldn't even get back to this high. Swiss blew it out by a mile, right? So if you identify the right currency to be short, even if your timing isn't right and you have reduced leverage, you're going to be able to ride out the drawdown. If your trade selection isn't good, just like on American Idol, if they're great singers and they pick the wrong song, their song choice is lousy, they don't get the best performance. If you can identify what is the weakest pair, that even when pairs are going up, it'll be more forgiving. Give me a why if you guys understand that. That has a lot to do with correlation work, knowing what your relative strength and weakness is. Okay? Okay, looking at Euro. Euro looks very negative to me. We're still, unlike the pound diverged above 30 right here, okay? We didn't make a new low under 30. And if we head down, we'll be above 30, right? Look at the RSI pattern in Euro. Which is weaker, Euro or the pound? And this gives you your answer. Almost back to the January lows. Right. Okay. So on counter trend trades, this goes to identifying if I want to play a bounce or a pullback in the dollar after a little more dollar strength, what's my preferred long? Pound dollar or Euro USD? Preferred long. Right. Okay, the yen's in no man's land to me. A lot of people are proclaiming the low is in here because we had this big move up. I still think there's a chance for what kind of formation here? Looks like a falling wedge to me, right? So I'm still looking for one more push down in the yen and then to be a pretty big buyer in the low 81 range, which means I'm not in a hurry to buy the yen pairs, right? Euro GBP, I tried it here and got out. This has a negative look to it in many ways. It's telling me that I should stay short Euro, when I want to be long the dollar, be short Euro. When I want to trade counter trend, I should be buying pound dollar. Do you guys get it? When this is trending down, it's telling you short Euro on strength, and if you're looking for bounces, buy the pound over buying the Euro. So even if you don't trade EG, it could give you market messages, help you with selecting which pair, because we all have trouble with that sometimes. How many of us have been right about the move in the direction, say like we were looking for the dollar to go down, and we chose a pair that hardly went up, while others were really going up. Or if we were bullish a dollar, we would short something that didn't go down as much as other pairs, and said, "Oh, I wish I would have. I should have shorted this," or "It would have been a better long if I had bought this." How many have done that? Come on, everyone's done it. Oh well, I'm glad for you, Sam. Very good. How many pips did you pull out of that? Did you stay short most of the week? Okay. How you can overcome that, Sam, think about it on your next trade, is there's nothing wrong with taking profits. Next time, consider taking half off and tightening up your stop and letting it go. That way you get paid in case it retraces, okay? And if it keeps going, you're still there. It's just money management. Give that a try. You're very welcome. Okay, so moving over to the commodity currencies. I think we have a little bit of a push-up coming in here, at least to 380, and possibly as high as maybe challenging these highs up here. So again, looking for a little bit of a dollar pullback, which means a little bit of a pop, and we'll know by what the S&Ps do on probably tomorrow, but we're not going to be able to do much about it. A similar situation with Kiwi, but my analysis says that for the time being, if you want to trade the upside of the Asian commodity currencies, Aussie and New Zealand, you're better off buying breaks in the Kiwi and selling rallies in Aussie, because that spread, I think, is going to continue to work to the disadvantage of Aussie. Everyone understand that? And wrapping it up here with the Swiss, which kind of conflicts with the dollar scenario, but I actually think that the Swiss is only correcting this decline. Looks like it came off my line, and I'm still looking for new lows. You can do that, Sam. Any questions? Yeah, I think it's headed there. Can you guys see this? So these are the daily videos that I do. Just a brief pre-holiday wrap. Okay. All you have to do is sign up to get them. My performance is on the website. We have a room, we do Twitter alerts, and we have a trade copier that replicates my trades on our members' accounts. So with that, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy holiday. We're ranked number 3 on Forex Peace Army as far as trading signals. And appreciate your attention and good luck trading. And I think next week's going to be a great week. So thank you, Mauricio, Adinda. Happy holidays to you guys. And remember, don't just count your pips, Count your blessings. Okay, guys. Adios.